The vast throne hall of the Zarathian Empire gleamed with crystalline walls that pulsed like veins filled with liquid starlight. Rows of armored nobles flanked the chamber, their scaled forms bristling with disdain. Every eye was fixed on the solitary human who stood at the center, unarmored, unarmed, but unbroken. His name was Commander Darius Kane, a decorated warrior of the Earth Defense Corps, and the only human invited to stand trial not of crime, but of worth. The Zarathians had recently emerged from centuries of seclusion, declaring dominance over the Orion Arm. Humanity's growing fleets had clashed with them in bitter skirmishes, but Earth had been forced into an uneasy negotiation. Kane was chosen to represent humankind, not as a diplomat, but as a symbol, proof that humanity would not kneel. And yet here he was, surrounded by creatures that towered over him. At the front of the chamber, lounging on her throne of flowing silver, was Princess Zillara, daughter of the mighty Empress Vera. Tall, serpentine in grace, with eyes like molten gold, she sneered as she looked upon the human. Well, well, she purred, her voice echoing through the chamber. This is the warrior of Earth? This fragile thing with soft skin and dull eyes? I expected more of a challenge. A ripple of laughter spread among the Zarathian nobles. Kane stood still, his posture unflinching, though his jaw tightened. Zillara slithered down from her throne, circling him like a predator studying prey. They say humans fight with passion, that you resist submission. But all I see is smallness. Do you truly believe your kind can stand against ours? Against me? Kane's lips curved into the faintest smirk. Do you want me to answer honestly, or should I be polite? Gasps filled the hall. Few dared speak so flippantly to the princess. Zillara leaned close, her scaled brow furrowed. Your insolence will be your death, human. Kane held her gaze. Then kill me. Or listen. Your choice. For a moment, silence blanketed the hall. Then Zillara laughed, sharp and cruel. Arrogant insect. You amuse me. But from the high dais, a commanding voice thundered. Enough, daughter. The noble stiffened. Empress Vera, regal and terrifying, rose from her throne. She was immense, her presence radiating authority that crushed the air from the room. Her piercing gaze swept from her daughter to Kane. You mock what you do not understand, Zillara, Vera said, her tone like a blade unsheathed. This human stands here not in chains, but by his will. He has fought for his people. He has bled for them. And still he comes before us without fear. Zillara stiffened, her smirk faltering. But mother, he... Kneel now. Vera's command cracked like thunder. The hall fell into stunned silence. The nobles recoiled, unsure if they had heard correctly. The princess herself went pale, her golden eyes wide. Mother, you cannot mean... I mean it, Vera growled. You will kneel before this human warrior. You will show respect to one who embodies the courage your own people have begun to forget. Kane blinked in shock, but kept his composure. He hadn't come here for humiliation, but neither had he expected this. Zillara's hands clenched into fists. The nobles murmured in disbelief. A princess, kneeling to a human? Unthinkable. But under her mother's unyielding glare, Zillara lowered herself to one knee before Kane. Her pride trembled on the edge of shattering. Do not mistake this for weakness, she hissed under her breath. This is your moment, human. Do not squander it. The beginning. A clash of worlds. The ceremony had begun as a test. Humanity's fleets had held out longer than the Zarathians expected in battle. Earth's defenses had been battered, but not broken. The Empress had summoned Kane to witness whether humans were truly a species to treat as equals or as subjects. Zillara, ever arrogant, had seen the trial as a game. To her, Cain was a curiosity, an insect who dared stand tall in a hall of titans. She sought to humiliate him, to remind him that his kind were but children before the might of the empire. But Cain had not come to bow. He remembered Earth's burning skies, the names of his soldiers carved into his memory, and the faces of those who refused to yield. Humanity had always been underestimated, and today he would prove why that was their greatest strength. The middle, respect earned in fire. After Zillara's forced kneeling, the hall erupted into whispers. Some nobles seethed, others looked at Cain with new interest. Vera silenced them all with a gesture. "This is not mere ritual," the Empress declared. "This is a lesson. For too long, arrogance has blinded us. We crushed worlds, yet forgot the fires that made us strong. Look upon this human, scarred, small, but unyielding. In him, I see echoes of what Zarathians once were." Cain stepped forward, bowing his head respectfully but firmly. "I didn't come here to be worshipped. I came to be heard. My people don't want war. We want survival. We will defend ourselves if pushed, but if you see us only as weak, you'll never understand why we keep rising no matter how many times we're struck down." His words carried weight, cutting through centuries of pride. Even Zillara, begrudgingly, found herself studying him with something more than contempt. Later, as the audience dispersed, the princess approached him in private. Her voice was quieter, but still sharp. "You embarrass me. My mother forced me to bow, but you're kind, still do not belong here." Cain met her gaze. "Maybe not, but we belong out there, among the stars, just like you. We don't have to be enemies." Her eyes narrowed. Yet, for the first time, doubt flickered within them. The ending, the bond forged. Days turned to weeks. Cain remained in the palace as negotiations continued. To his surprise, it was Zillara who sought him out the most. At first with mocking words, then with pointed questions, and finally with genuine curiosity. She tested him, challenged him, even sparred with him in the training halls. Each time, Cain surprised her, not by overpowering her, but by enduring, by refusing to quit. One night, after a grueling match, Zillara collapsed beside him, breathing heavily. "You humans, you never stop, even when you know you can't win." "That's why we win," Cain replied quietly. "Because we don't accept losing." Silence lingered between them. Then, for the first time, she laughed, not mockingly, but with something like admiration. When the treaty was finally signed, it bore not just the Empress's seal, but her daughter's. Humanity would stand not as slaves, nor as enemies, but as potential allies. As Cain prepared to depart, Zillara stopped him at the docking bay. She looked at him not with scorn, but with a warrior's respect. "Do not think I have forgotten the humiliation," she said, a faint smirk on her lips. "But I see now why my mother made me kneel. You carry more than just your own strength. You carry the strength of all your people." Cain nodded. "And one day, when we meet again, I hope you'll see us not as small, but as equals." Her golden eyes glimmered. Perhaps human, perhaps. As his ship lifted into the stars, Cain knew the galaxy had changed. The arrogance of a princess had been tempered, an empire had been reminded of humility, and humanity had carved a place at the table of giants.